Hello everyone. Welcome. Hey everybody. How are you guys doing? Hello friends. I'm just going to light a little sage and allow people to join, and then we will start chatting about how this is going to work. Hi, how are you guys feeling today? I'm so excited to do this. I've had this idea in my head for like 2 weeks, and something pushed me to do it today. So here we are doing it. I have been feeling quite intense with the energy. If you get them, let's touch on this. Someone said they got a message from me that's not me. So unfortunately there's so many fake pages, and they try to they're like duplicate pages. They look like mine, but the name is a little different. And they'll send you a message and they will tell you your ancestors said this and they said that, and now you have to send me money. These are all scams. So anytime somebody messages you and they pretend to be me, just block them. Block and report. Hey everybody. Hello. Okay, so let's talk about how this is gonna work. So, I'll give you a little bit of background on how I figured out that I could help people release blockages that they have. Because this wasn't something that I could do from the beginning of my awakening. Channeling and mediumship was like immediate after I experienced my awakening. But this ability to physically feel someone's blockages in my body. So if someone has a solar plexus blockage, I feel it in the pit of my stomach and it makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like it's very, very intense. And I will, sorry, lost my train of thought. Thank you for buying the badge. Love you so much. So I will feel it in my body, and then I can physically feel my body kind of moving it through. I feel the energy moving upwards. I wouldn't be surprised if by watching this live, you guys realize that you're doing it too. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this for you guys, so that you can watch me do what I do and then realize that you're probably doing the same thing. So, okay, so how this is going to work is it is very important for you to know that by going live with me, I'm going to pick up on things that you've experienced that maybe you're uncomfortable with sharing in front of people. So if you're uncomfortable with sharing, personal details about your life or things that you've experienced in front of people, then I don't want you to come on live, because it's just going to happen. It happens naturally. But if you're okay with that and you're comfortable with, being transparent, then go for it. I would love to have you on. So in a couple minutes, I will ask whoever wants to join, and then I will pick intuitively, randomly, and I'll have you come on screen. And I usually I'll ask a random question, and then I will have you answer the question. And then by answering the question, it's not only for your answer, it's also so that I can connect to your energy. And then I will be physically able to feel where you have blockages, and then we'll chat a little bit about it, and I'll help you release that. So that's how it works. So let's see. Also, you will see me drinking a ton of water through this, because when I channel, I get super, super thirsty. So if you would like to go live with me and do this, I'm going to have you, okay, so comment if you're ready. Oh, it's also important that you're in a quiet space, because I get so easily distracted. So you have to be in a quiet space where it's just you, and you're not distracted at all. So make sure you do that. And if you're not in a comfortable, quiet space yet, go do it now. I'll wait a couple minutes so you guys can do that. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. So if you would like to go live with me and you're ready to do this, just comment ready, and then I will pick someone and request them to join. Hi.
Hey,
How
hi
are
everybody.
you?
Very good. How are
Awesome.
you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so happy we get to chat. Let's do this. So, we have chatted before. How long? It was months and months and months ago.
It was on my birthday.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted clarity that only you could give.
Beautiful. Well, I hope you got that from me.
I did.
Good.
I had inklings that I was a star seed and I wanted to know from where.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to ask you, I probably asked you this when we met as well, but where do you feel like you are right now in your journey?
Oh, I am awakened. I realize there's blockages and I don't exactly know fully how to clear them, but every day I'm getting stronger and stronger with understanding how to pick up on things.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm going to connect to you and I will let you know what I feel and where I feel it. Funny because when I was talking about how this works, I mentioned, the solar plexus makes me feel like it's like I'm gonna barf. And that's what I feel right now for you. Um, it feels like a self-confidence thing, and it also feels like something that you've been already working on for quite a while. Would you say that as a child that you were in some ways repressed? Like you were not allowed to express yourself completely?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what it feels like. So when you do express yourself, you do so with resistance, like you're fighting yourself because something tells you to be quiet and don't do that, don't express yourself, but you fight it and you express yourself anyway.
Yeah. This was a
Good
big
for you.
struggle with my upbringing.
Yeah, good for you. That's amazing. I always say that we have like a little war happening inside of us, and it feels like, the little angel and the little devil, which is the angel's your higher self and the devil is your ego. And they are at war inside of you. And one is like, shut up, don't say anything. And the other one is like, you have to do it. You have to say something. And the amazing gift that we have from the universe is free will. You get to choose which voice you listen to. And based off of your choices, your reality manifests and changes. So let's see. So thankfully, you have been working so much on it that it doesn't feel like a huge blockage. It feels more like when you do express yourself, when you force yourself to do that, it's uncomfortable for you.
Yeah. I'm just picking up on my sovereignty like now, and I'm in my late 30s, and I am just admitting things without any care for what anyone else is going to hear. Like I just came out as gay when I was 37, and it was a part of my awakening. It was a part of my guides showing me to be my authentic self and coming from, so I'm mixed, but
Mhm.
a West Indian background. There's a lot of socialized suppression
Hmm.
is what I'll
Yeah.
say.
I'm going to ask your guides if they have anything specific that will help you to release this. It usually works through the acknowledgement and the realization that you still have a little bit. I don't like using the word blockage because that like insinuates that you're stuck, but it's not that. For you, it kind of just feels like discomfort or like residue,
Residue.
like left over feeling of what you used to feel. It's just kind of sticky there.
Yeah. Part
Um,
of also
go ahead.
admitting things is taking yourself back to stand in those shadows.
Mhm.
And sometimes I get there and I'm ready for it, but to go deep into those wounds, it's like, and I'm standing there and I'm like, I need to come back out,
Mhm.
prepare myself to go back in again. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, it makes total sense. Do you need to focus specifically on the solar plexus, Beth? Do it 7 days in a row,
Okay.
often. Do you have an altar for Orshun?
Oh gosh, you just called me out. I don't, she was one of the last guides that came through, but she's been coming through
Hmm.
very strong recently, and so I just started to think about all the things yellow that I can do for her. I did make an offering for her at the river. Um, and there's a lot of peacock that's now popping up too. So Mama Oshun definitely has been starting to call.
Yeah, you have to do it. She's going to help you. She's going to help you get through it. Do you feel like you judge yourself sometimes?
Oh, I would say at the beginning of my awakening, there was a lot of, am I doing it right? Like, am I setting up the altars correctly? Am I listening to the guides correctly? Am I picking up on what they want me to know about myself? Just that really comes from my upbringing because there's a lot of like shame as
Hmm.
tough love. It's disguised as tough love. And so it translated itself into me being hard on myself with even my guides. And recently I had a breakthrough where I finally heard in a bath, because you were always telling us to do the bath. So then I just had this knowing to just start bathing like all the time, salt baths and the herbs. And I had a breakthrough that my guides love me. Like
Hmm.
no matter what I do, they know that this is hard. They know that a forced awakening is hard, and they will love you through all of those mistakes, and they'll tweak you when you're ready.
Hmm. Yeah, and if there's something that you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing, you'll know. You'll know because they are loud. They're loud and they will let you know. You'll receive sign after sign. It's kind of like they slap you in the face a little bit, but with love, with so
Yeah.
much love, because they want you to succeed and they want you to be happy and they want you to be healed. So they're going to lead you in that direction. And if ever you stray in the opposite direction, they're going to grab you and pull you back to where you need to go.
Yes. And it's
Good.
not scary. It's
No,
like,
it's not.
I get,
I mean, oh, the scary thing, anything can be scary if you think something's scary,
yeah. It's
right?
not scary. That's brainwashing from like just old ways of thinking.
Hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. And even when it's scary on the other side of the scary, it's just so beautiful. Good. Well, make her alter because she's been yelling at you a little bit.
I felt so
Not yelling in a
altered.
bad
Yeah.
way, but the signs, right?
The
That
sign,
she's
she was
it's like she's
coming
harassing you a
she
little bit.
was coming through. I was selecting some flowers around Valentine's Day for someone that I love who's like a mom, but she's not into roses. And the canister of sunflowers just fell over.
Hmm.
And I already had the knowing. And I said, I'm getting to you, Mama Ocean. I just need the right place because she likes like a high altar.
Hmm.
and then all the peacock, and then like the river synchronicities, and just again, just the knowing like her name's coming up,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
she's
make it all
going to
through.
help you. She's going to help you fix yourself. And I would say that there really isn't much to be fixed because you're putting in so much effort. So she's going to help you get rid of whatever residue is there. And it's going to kind of um, pump more energy into that specific energy center. So you might feel a little sick, might feel a little nauseous while that's happening, but it will pass.
Thank you so much.
You're
And I
welcome.
started to already get some bodily twitching as
Mhm.
you were saying certain things. So affirmation,
Confirmation.
affirmation.
Beautiful. Well, this was great. It was so nice chatting
Thank
with you. You're
you.
so welcome. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Good luck to everyone else that is going to get to do this with you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Okay. Beautiful. Give me 1 second to drink some water and we'll bring somebody else on. If you are ready, comment ready. Remember, if you're just joining, you have to be in a quiet area, a quiet space. You have to be, you have to show your face and you have to be comfortable with me talking about personal information that I pick up from you. You are so welcome. Let's see. Okay, I picked another person.
Hi. I felt that
Hi,
coming. I am
how
good. How are
are
you?
you?
Nice to
Awesome,
meet
I'm
you
very good.
too.
Nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Beautiful.
Okay.
You're so welcome. Let's get started. So tell me where you feel like you are currently in your
Well,
spiritual
I'm
journey.
very focused right now on just being, choosing to be where I am. I mean, I go through all kinds of, different themes and focuses, but right now it's really just like very kind of Buddhist, like I am. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So I'm going to connect to your energy
Okay.
and I will let you know what I feel. So there's some chest pressure going on. Definitely heart chakra, maybe other things, but what is coming through is the heart. Would you say that you have experienced betrayal
Yes.
in this life? Would you say that it feels like you have healed? It doesn't feel like it's
Mhm.
super closed. It feels like it is something that, have you been working on forgiveness,
Loving
forgiving whoever it is
forgiveness
that did
late,
that to
like
you?
the last few months, it's been one of my
Okay.
favorite things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's working. You're doing great. And I can feel what I feel is energy moving upwards in my body. So I feel the release of whatever. It feels cloudy almost. Cloudy, like because that happened to you, then you kind of stop
Mm-hmm.
trusting your judgment. Or maybe you kind of for a moment stopped
Okay.
trusting your own intuition. But it also feels like because you're working so hard on forgiveness, that the cloudiness is starting to
Yeah.
lift.
No, I
Does that
feel
make
a lot
sense?
more very recent in the last few months.
When was this
I feel
that you
like what you're
experienced
referring
this?
to is actually faced in like younger years, yeah, that has been carried for a long time and kind of relived over and over.
Was it,
Yeah,
is it
I mean,
a father
ultimate.
wound?
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah. So it's very interesting. When people experience a mother wound, it shows up in the solar plexus. And when they experience a father wound, it shows up in the heart. Because our father is supposed to protect us and give us love. And we, our mothers are supposed to do the same thing. But the fathers are more the protector. And when we don't have that, it kind of causes us to shut down because it makes us feel unsafe to love. If this person could not give us the love that they were supposed to give us, how could another person? So it kind of causes us to shelter ourselves in fear of being hurt by
I've
anyone.
definitely had a lot of well, I do want to mention that the moment in the last reading or connection you just did, immediately when you said Oshun, I touched I was gonna put these in a vase, and I touched them immediately when you said Oshun. I was like, oh, yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. I will connect to your guides and see if they have something specific to say. Are you in a
No.
relationship right now? Is that
Yes.
something that you would like? Yeah.
Like
when was your last
a
relationship?
full-on actual boyfriend? Maybe 7, 8 years ago. It's been a minute. There's been things, but
it's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's fair. It's fair, right? Because I'm sure it ended because it was not going how it was supposed to go, or how you would have liked
totally,
it to go.
Result. But
do you have hesitancy?
Yeah. I mean, I spend a lot of time reflecting and you know, I know a lot about my stuff. And so yeah, I know I'm hesitant. I feel very like at a point where I'm just kind of overwhelmed with all of the stuff, and that's why right now I'm just at this point where I'm like, just choose where you're at, just be that, because there's just so much that I almost don't know what step to take.
Yeah, I understand. The best thing that you could possibly do is to kind of shut everything out and just be where you are and be who you are right now. That's it. Because none of the other stuff matters. It really doesn't matter. When it's time for you to grow and change or take another step in your journey, the step will slap you in the face. You cannot miss it. It's going to come because it's time for you to do that specific thing. So it's going to come to you and it will not leave you alone until you get the point and then you take the step. I think, like you said, it is extremely overwhelming because there's so much information and so many things that we are hearing about every day and learning about, and different types of spirituality. And it is overwhelming because what's the right thing? We don't know. Only you know what's right for you, because everybody is at a different spot in their journey. So what is right for you, maybe it's not right for me. What is right for me, maybe it's not right for the next person. So shut everything else out and just listen to yourself, because only you know where this journey is taking you and what the next step is. Nobody else can tell you that.
Because even the non-committalness, I even have a really hard time with in my career. It's showing up in all aspects. So there's just been this big hold, and I'm also trusting that divine timing has something to do with all of it too. But yeah, it's just sometimes hard to know.
Does it feel like, I mentioned this in the beginning, but does it feel like kind of hard to trust yourself and your own discernment and your own intuition?
Point, like, I mean, even with all of the like spiritual work and the just the insights that I do have, when it comes down to it, I know I don't know. And so I'm at this kind of funny point where I'm like, but do I even know that about myself? Like, really, is it the father wound? I mean, it maybe is, but is it like the, you know, so, and that's another reason why I've kind of just been like, okay, we're just gonna like, just love where we're at and not think about it too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, another thing that you can do when you don't know or when you're trying to figure it out, well, let me preface that by saying something else. We are on an awakening journey, and it's like the ball is rolling downhill and nothing can stop it. So even if you're like, I don't know what to do, you're not going to be without that knowing for long because the ball is rolling. So your reality is going to trigger you and try to get you to heal what is not yet healed, because we all have to awaken. The earth is changing and we are changing. And in order to be here, we have to awaken with the earth. So that means we have to heal everything, and we have to get to a point where there is pretty much nothing left to be healed, which is why everything is so chaotic, because our reality is trying to trigger us so that we grow. So you don't have to worry about looking for things or
And
finding things.
free
It's going to
will,
come and find you.
because you said free will earlier, and that's been nagging at me lately. You
Yeah.
like just give
What about
a
it?
little part of what my mind's been doing is like, and do we have free will? Because if we couldn't have changed what we did, how can we change what we're gonna do? And then like what?
Yeah, well, so this is kind of a complicated one, right? Because we have free will to make whatever choice we want to make. But
Yeah,
before we got here, we made a plan. We just don't remember the plan. So there are certain things that we need to experience. They're kind of like landmarks, like major events that happen in our lives that trigger growth for us. And those things we don't have control over because we pre-planned this. But in a situation where you can go left or you can go right, it's your choice which way to go. But either way, whether you go left or right, there's going to be certain events on both timelines that you must experience. So if you signed up to have 2 kids in your life, you're going to have those 2 kids. Whether it's now or later, they're coming. Who you have the kid with, probably free will. In some cases, not free will. So it's very like, it's not black and white in the way we would like it to be. There's so many different layers to the free will that we have and how it actually works.
Yeah.
But yes, you have free will.
Yeah.
That's important for you to know. Your guides want you to know that it is safe to love. It's safe to love, and it's safe to trust yourself. We cannot say that nobody's ever going to betray us. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen because people are humans. We're human, and sometimes we make mistakes. So we cannot say, oh, I'm going to choose this person because I know they're never going to hurt my feelings. We cannot say that for sure. But what we can do is make the best choice. We can make the choice that feels right in our heart and trust that the universe will show us if somebody is betraying us, or they are lying, or they are being dishonest. We have to trust that the universe will disclose that to us, or give us a red flag, or give us a sign, and it always does. I know you saw them, and I saw them too. But we usually ignore them because we want to be loved. So before you go into this situation, because there is one coming, there's definitely one coming, you have to trust yourself. Trust that when you see the red flags, that you're going to get the hell out of there. You have to trust the universe to show you the red flags, and then you have to trust that you have strength enough to survive whatever it is, that you're going to be okay no matter what. And if somebody hurts your feelings, that's not the person for you. If somebody betrays you, that's not the person for you. So really, the betrayal is a gift.
If that happens.
Yeah, if. But you have to, going into it, we don't know, right? We don't know for sure. So you have to trust those 3 things, because it's that or be alone forever. No. And I know that's not what you want.
Yeah.
So have faith in all of those 3 things. Have faith in your ability to deal with whatever the universe throws at you,
Mhm.
because that's all we
Yeah.
really have, right? We don't know. Anything can happen. But we have to trust our
And that's the
ability
thing
to
that I'm
deal with
needing
that
to
thing.
sit with more. My ability to do, yeah. Because that whole other side of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
no matter what I do, anything can happen. So, it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, we are not in control of
Mm-hmm.
anything aside from what we're in control of. So a lot of people ask me, well, how do I know when I should do something or when I should just let the universe handle it? When you can do something, when something is in your control and you can do it, do it. When it's not in your control, put your hands up, just throw your hands in the air, because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Fight with the universe? It's always going to win. So surrendering when we can do nothing is the way to go. But
Yeah.
when you can do something, do the
Okay.
something.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Well, it's great talking to you. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, friends, I think we can do two more. So if you are ready, comment ready. Remember, you have to be in a quiet area. You have to be comfortable with talking about personal information. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna drink a little more water and we'll continue. Also gonna light some more sage. I hope you guys are enjoying the live so far. I hope you're getting what you need to get out of it. So much cool information comes through when I do channeled readings for people. And I always think to myself, how amazing would it be if people get to just like be a fly on the wall and hear what comes through, because we all kind of go through the same stuff, and I find myself repeating the same information so often, and I'm like, why don't I just share this with everybody so that everybody can learn? From one person, 20 people can learn something. You are so welcome. Okay. Picking another person. Okay, I picked someone.
Hey,
My water.
how are you? I'm
Hi,
good, thank you. How are
how are
you?
you? Awesome, I'm very good. I'm just
Okay, take your
giving myself
time.
some more water. Okay, so let's get started. So tell me, where do you feel like you are currently in your
Um,
spiritual journey?
I don't know. I've either like started or just started or not even at the start.
That's okay. Would you say that you're curious about
Yeah, I
spirituality?
mean, I read this really good book by David R. Hawkins on power versus force, and it was really good, and it was talking about spirituality and vibrations within the universe and what gives off certain vibration. So yeah, no, I'm definitely interested.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to connect to your energy and we'll see what comes through. Would you say that, such an odd question, would you say that your body runs hot, like you're hot all the
Yeah,
time?
it was like old. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel it. It got super. I was like, why is it so hot in here? It's not the room. Okay. So let's see. Would you say that what I feel is that you're not confident in who you are as a person?
I always have been though. I feel like I've usually been pretty secure in myself. I guess at this point in my life, I'm not as secure as I used to be.
Is there something that you really want to do, but you're not, something like you don't feel like you can achieve that thing? Like, what are you passionate about? Because there's something and it's in front of you and you're
Well,
not doing
it's
it.
honestly like, uh, as vain as it might sound, like acting and modeling. Like I feel a genuine passion for the performing arts, and I feel as if, yeah, but I don't know if that's really. I'm sort of conflicted in the sense that, am I confusing my career and my passion for performing arts with celebrity?
Well, I mean, do
I
you crave
guess. I mean, I feel
celebrity?
like that's always something that that will happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. You know, it's so funny. It's funny to it's not funny, but at the same time for me it's funny to watch you have this thing in front of you and it's so close and if you want
Mm.
it, you can just grab it. But you're not grabbing it because you're just like looking at it. You're just sitting there and you're looking at it and you're like, is this the thing? Like is this
Yeah,
should I
yeah, I can
grab it?
relate to that.
But you want to grab
Hmm.
it and you're not grabbing it. Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's a sense of hesitation, I guess, because maybe maybe I'm not as confident in myself as I once believed. I think you're right. Definitely. I think yeah.
Yeah, do you feel like maybe I know that it's very hard to be kind of people call it delusional, like being delusional, but I don't think it's being delusional. I think it's kind of having blind faith in the universe that whatever the heck you want is
Yeah,
just going to
okay.
work out.
Sure. Okay.
But that's how
Hmm.
you need to look at it because it's right there. It's right. It's not far. It's not on top of the mountain. It's I'm looking at it. Like I can see a visual and you're standing here and the thing is right at
Mm.
arm's
Okay.
reach.
Well, that's yeah, that really helps. I think that's what I needed to hear. I could probably embark on that today or tomorrow if I wanted
Yeah, do it. You
to.
want to. That's the funny thing. You want to, but there's a part of you that's like, am I good enough for this? Will I? There's so
Mm.
many people that want to do this. Why me?
Yeah.
Do you feel
And
like that
I also,
sometimes?
yeah, I feel a bit like family pressures at times, like be realistic. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I know it's right there. I know I can just reach out and grab it if I want to. So,
Yeah. You know what's funny? What's funny about the family thing? From right here where you're standing, they want you to be realistic. And when you go and grab that thing and you're incredibly successful, they're going to say, oh my God, I always knew you could do it. I
yeah,
always believed in you,
yeah,
right? That's how it works. So don't listen to what they have to say because they don't have the same vision you do.
yeah,
They're not on the same path as you. And if someone doesn't know how to get somewhere, you're not going
exactly,
to ask them for
exactly.
directions, right?
Yeah, wow. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much. It just affirmed what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
you're so
Thank you so
welcome.
much. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, you
Mwah.
are so very
Me,
welcome.
me
I'm
too.
happy that
Thank
we
you
had
so
this
much.
conversation. Great.
Bye.
Yay, you're so welcome. Okay, bye. Beautiful. This is going so good. I love doing this with you guys. Okay, let's do, I can definitely do one more. Might be able to do an additional one after that, but we'll see. I gotta feel out my energy. Okay, if you're ready, comment that you're ready. If you just got here, you have to be comfortable with sharing personal information. You have to show your face, all that good stuff. Have a little more water. Okay, I am picking someone. Okay, I have picked someone. Let's light the sage again to clear the energy.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Ah,
How
why
are
did I know
you?
you were gonna pick me? And I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
We're connected. Beautiful. I'm so happy to chat with you. So, tell me, same question. Where do you feel like you are in your spiritual journey
Oh
now?
God. I don't know. It's been such a roller coaster. I at this point I'm lost. But I'm not lost. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I understand.
Yes,
Are you
I am.
nervous? Yeah. Yeah. I feel nervous. I feel nervous with you. We're nervous together. Okay. Let's take a couple of deep breaths so that I can feel something
Okay.
aside from your nervousness. So it feels, I feel a little bit of solar plexus stuff. It feels like you you have been made to feel small.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made you feel small and kind of like it feels like suppressed your growth and expression. Like, let's say you're like, I want to be this when I grow up, and this person was like, no, that type of energy. Yeah. I know that it's very difficult to treat yourself in a certain way if nobody's ever taught you like that, because our parents, or treated you like that, because our parents are supposed to teach us how to treat ourselves and how to love ourselves. And if they don't do that for us because they're not capable, it's not that they're terrible human beings, it's that they didn't receive that from their parent. So how can they give that to
I've been
you?
hearing that for like the past year, and I've been trying to get over it. My upbringing was like very religious and very suppressing. And I know that I know I'm powerful. Like I know I have
Mhm.
gifts, and I work with I have clients, and I hear what to say, I hear what to do, but I'm so I'm afraid because I grew up in judgment and criticism, and
Mhm.
it's held me back. Well, I've allowed it to hold me back, but as soon as I think like I'm over it, then life starts happening and I realize that I'm not over it. I'm stuck.
Well, I will tell you, I know it's going to be hard for you to release all of that fear and all of the programming from growing up that way, but I want to tell you that all of that, the programming that you received,
Yeah.
it's not real. It's not real. None of it is real. The things that they told you, or what they, you do certain things, you go to hell. You have gifts, you go to hell. It's evil, it's witchcraft. None of that is real. It's not real. It was made up to
Yeah.
suppress our natural gifts. And why would they do this? Because when we have our own personal connection to God, God warns us
Yeah.
when something is bad, when something is bad for us. So, and the church itself, unfortunately, there's so much manipulation and mind control and suppression of our gifts because they want to control us. So they don't want us to have our own connection to God. They want us
Yeah.
to go through them to talk to God. So everything that you have been taught and told, it's not real. It was made up to keep you closed off and to keep you small. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't so beat into your head for so long that it's not going to just instantly go away.
Girl, I am like,
So what you have to do is become really
so
self-aware.
that's been the
It's
process,
not easy.
and I feel like when will it finally just click? When will it click, and when will I get rid of this from like the root cause? Like I just I put so much work into myself, and then I think I'm good, and it's like no, I'm right back. Like there's so much that I should be doing, but I can't even make the move in like the smallest things, just just for fear of how people are gonna perceive me. And I'm over it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been taught to not
Yes.
trust yourself. So when it's time to make a move, you don't trust the move that you would like to make
Yep.
because you've been taught to not trust. So even when your own intuition is screaming at you, you don't trust your intuition. So you don't, instead of making a move at all, you freeze. It's like you're freezing because you don't know which move to make, and you're scared to make this move and you're scared to make that move.
That would be true.
I have, so this is what I want you to do. When it's time for you to make a choice, you have to fight through that thing that tells you to freeze. Fight it. Remember, I just talked about, and the first person I talked to, the little devil and the little angel. The little devil's going to tell you, you don't know shit, don't do anything, you're going to make the wrong choice, you're small, you don't know what you're doing. And the other side of you is going to say, trust yourself, do this thing because you want to do it, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your body, do the thing. You have to make the choice to listen to the thing that's telling you what you should do. Listen to that. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy to make that choice, and it's going to be scary. But once you get to the other side of that choice, that's when it clicks. That's when it clicks, because you have tangible proof that you know what the hell you're doing.
Proof. Yeah.
Yeah, but you only get that proof when you do the thing, when you make the choice, when you get real scared and you do it anyway. That's when you get the proof. That's when God is like, see, I told you.
It's always
and you're like, oh, okay, I might listen next time. So you have a spirit guide. You have a specific spirit guide, and he's always with you, and he wants to help you. In order to work with him, you're going to have to get through your fear, because there's stories about him that people have made up that are negative. So you're going to have to work through your fear so that you can communicate with your ancestor and your spirit guide.
I think I'm already knowing.
His name is, you know.
I think I do.
He's my spirit guide too. So, yeah, and I feel like you know about him, and I'm sure he has been giving you signs and trying to communicate with you and reaching out to you, and you're like, I don't know about this. And I don't blame you. Because everything before this has told you, be afraid, be so afraid, be terrified. And he's like, my child, take my hand. There's nothing to fear. And you're like, I don't know. I should be scared. They told me I should be scared. Take his hand. He's going to lead you to freedom. He's going to, because the enslavement is inside of you. And it was inside of me too for so long. We do it to ourselves. And the programming that is given to us causes us to enslave our own minds. So it's like you're in a prison cell, but the door's open. The door is open, but you're sitting there and you won't get up and walk out because they told you to be afraid. Yeah, they told you to be afraid of getting out of there. But there's nothing to be afraid of. And you won't know that until you get up and walk out. So this is like I don't like to call it a wake-up call, but a little bit.
It's good. It's the motivation. It's the confirmation, to let go of the fear.
Good. Yeah, and it's okay. It's going to be there. It's deeply braided into who you are because it's been pushed into your mind since you were little. But through making these choices and doing the scary thing anyways, and not listening to the voice inside of you that tells you to be small, every time you make the scary choice and come out of the other side and realize, oh, that wasn't so bad. I could totally do that. That little voice that tells you to be small, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually you hardly hear it anymore. So I will ask if they have anything else for you. After you start talking to him, you can, you're going to start working with
Mhm.
Oshun. You know who she is? Okay. She's next because she's going to help you deal with your solar plexus
Yep.
issues. She's great. They love you very much. They love you even if you're afraid. They don't care. It's so interesting how they treat us because we've been taught to be afraid of them, and we're like, no, I'm scared of you, and they're like, I just love you so much. I don't
Yeah.
care if you're scared of me.
Oh,
So
I
they
can
love you so
definitely
much.
feel the love. It's just that the fear, again, what I've been programmed to
Mhm.
believe, it's a little overpowering. So I'm trying to work through.
Yeah. Well, remember, you have free will, so you get to choose whether you stay in that cell
Oh, girl,
or
I'm
you
walking
walk out.
out. It's over. It's a wrap.
Good. Good. I love that. That makes me so happy.
I'm done.
Good. Beautiful. Well, it was
Thank you, thank
amazing chatting
you,
with
thank you,
you.
Nicole.
You're so welcome. If you have any questions or you
I
need
will.
help, send me a DM.
You
Beautiful.
too.
Have an amazing
Thanks.
night.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I think I have one more in me. Let's do this. Okay, if you just got here, you have to be willing to talk about personal stuff in front of everybody. You have to be on camera. You have to be in a quiet area. If you are ready to join me, comment ready. So funny that remember the last person I did, I felt so hot immediately. My whole body was hot, like the heater was on in here. And now the heat is gone. Now I'm back to normal temperature. It is actually trips me out how my body reacts to people's energy. And there's nothing telling me like, oh, this is a reaction to this person's energy. I just feel the feelings. So you guys might be feeling certain feelings when you talk to somebody and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that those feelings are coming from that person because there is no thing that tells you, hey, this isn't yours. This is from someone else. I wish there was a thing, but there is no thing. You just kind of have to be very observant of your body and how you feel when you talk to a certain person versus when you're not talking to someone. And that is why energy cleansing is so, so, so important because it brings you to your natural baseline. So you know how you feel without anyone's energy attached to you. Okay. Next. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Okay. I picked somebody.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Nice to chat with you.
I've been sitting here going, oh my God, should I put ready? Should I put ready? Should I put ready?
Well, I love that you did. I love that. So tell me where you feel like you are in your spiritual journey currently.
I feel like I'm going through a transition, but I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
I don't know the direction that I need to take. I'm not sure if the feelings that I have about certain things, if I should follow that path. I'm in this state of like confusion right now. That's how I feel.
Do you ever feel like pressure in your chest, like in the middle of your chest, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like something is pushing on your chest bone?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that. Um, did you lose somebody within the last couple years?
I've lost several.
Okay.
But I did lose a friend who was very, very close to me. And I feel her a lot.
Yeah, they're trying to talk to you. They are trying to communicate. They're trying everything they can to get your attention and to communicate with you. You have really powerful gifts, and sometimes it feels like it's overwhelming for you, so you try to turn it off. I'm sorry to say this to you, friend, but you can't do that. It's not gonna work.
It's like I don't know how to use the gifts. I don't know where. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I don't know where to start.
It's okay. You don't have to. Don't think of it like you have to start. It's who you are. It's who you are, and it's who you've always been. So there is no starting point, and there is no ending point. I think that you worry about that you don't know how. Do you feel like, okay, it is not necessarily something that you do, but something that you allow.
Okay.
So because it is who you are, all you have to do is be.
Okay.
And when I say just be, that this means no resistance to it. This means you don't have to try to do it. You just have to exist. You just exist. And when it's time for you to use your gifts, it will come to you. So how I do this is through the intention of helping somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm getting on here, and my intention when I'm getting on here is to help people. My intention is to feel their energy centers in my own body, and through doing that, I will help them. So when I'm going into the situation, that's what I'm doing. And it is the action through my intention that allows me to do it.
That makes so much sense.
So it is really all about intention. I don't think people realize how ridiculously powerful intention is. Everything has energy.
Yeah.
So I think for you, your heart is trying to open, and through opening, your gifts will get, not that they'll get stronger because they're strong, but it's kind of like you're opening up. Oh, this is difficult to put into words, but I will do my best. It's like you're opening up like a portal within your own body
Mm-hmm.
that will allow you to be more receptive to the energies around you. That's why you feel that pressure in your chest. It's like your heart chakra is trying to open, and you're holding it closed for dear life. Because
that makes so much sense.
It's a little scary
Yeah.
for you. Yeah. And I get it. It used to scare the shit out of me. I didn't know what was happening, but it scared me. I would feel something. I would feel something next to me, and I would run. I would run from the room I was in because I was so scared. And I would smell like, I remember one time, I think I was 17, and I was working at the mall, and I went to take the trash out, and there's this long hallway. There's nobody else in the hallway, and I'm taking the trash out, and I smelled cigarettes in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody there. I smelled cigarettes, and it was like the hallway stretched out and everything started moving in slow motion, and I felt the presence of something with me, and I ran. I left the trash in the hall.
Yeah.
No. And I ran, girl, so fast, and I was like, oh God, what was that? And it terrified the shit out of me.
It's like sometimes too, I can hear, it's just weird because it happens sporadically. Mm-hmm. The different things that happen just happen sporadically, to the point where I'm like, wait, did that really happen? Or did I imagine that just happened? Like, and then a part of me is like, I want to open and embrace and welcome all of it. Mm-hmm. But again, I am also afraid and then wonder like, well, is this how I do this? Like, is this right? Like, so, but that pressure, and I've been feeling that pressure a lot lately. And I wasn't feeling it as much before, but like, I want to say in the last month, I've really been feeling that pressure.
Yeah. You don't have to, it's almost like you're holding onto yourself to protect yourself, like with the intention of protecting, but you're protecting yourself from something really beautiful and you don't know it. Because it feels different and it feels weird and it kind of makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. But it's not. It's something right with you.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It is so incredible. It is, I will tell you, before I had my awakening and I did this, I felt like I was dead inside. I was dead inside. Nothing mattered. I didn't care. I was like, when do I get to leave this place? It sucks. I don't want to be a human. I don't want to be here. It was terrible. And then after I had my awakening and I started doing this, my heart cracked open and it felt like it was bleeding with love for humanity all the time. I was feeling just bliss pouring out of me because I get to do the thing that I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to feel too. But you have to stop holding on to yourself and trying to protect yourself because there is nothing for you to protect yourself from. You are protected.
Right.
So protected. If you come here with these gifts to do certain things, you have an army of spirit guides protecting you because you need to do work and they need you to be okay so that you can do the work.
Yeah.
So you are safe. Everything's going to be okay. The heart's going to crack open. The next time you feel the pressure in your mind, imagine yourself removing your hands from that spot.
Okay.
So visualize yourself releasing because it's like this. It's like you're holding. So imagine yourself releasing the hands and imagine like a green glowing light just coming out of your chest.
Okay.
If you need help, please ask.
I will.
Out loud. Out loud. You have to ask out loud.
Okay.
Say, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, God, please help me. I'm ready.
Okay.
Give me strength and help me get through this.
Okay.
And then magic will happen for you. Your life is going to change in crazy ways. Not only because your gifts, of course, you're going to be using your gifts more. You're going to start communicating with your friend. She's like next to you all the time, waiting for the moment that you allow this to happen to you because she wants to talk to you. She loves you.
I know.
She's gonna be like your for me was my grandma. My grandma was my first spirit guide. The only person I felt close to in my life. She passed and within a year she started talking to me. The first dead person, for lack of a better term, that I first started talking to. And then after that was my spirit guides. So she's gonna be that for you. She's going to kind of teach you how to do this. She's going to give you a crash course in doing what you're here to do. You're here to use your gifts. Do you know that? Yeah. You know that. And this was the plan. This was always the plan since before you came. At a certain point in your life, your gifts are going to explode and you're going to have to start using them. There is no other way for you to exist after this. And don't worry, it's beautiful. It is profoundly beautiful, incredible. You're going to wake up every day and be so thankful and happy for your life. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. If you need anything or you have any questions or you get freaked out, send me a DM. I'm happy to help you through it.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I hope you have a beautiful evening.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, my friends, our live has come to an end. This was so beautiful. I absolutely love doing this with you guys. I'm planning on doing another one very soon. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm definitely definitely going to be doing this again soon for you guys. I love you all so much. Hugs and kisses. And I hope you have a beautiful evening. I'm going to be saving this live so you can watch it later. I'll probably upload it on YouTube or something too. So I love you all, and I hope you guys have a good evening. Bye.